It's week 1 of the 2031 season, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Vikings and the Buccaneers. All that and more coming up next.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, there's nothing quite like it. That feeling of beginning another NFL season. And these two squads are going to do just that in a moment.
And what makes it so exciting is the range of possibilities these teams have before them, because we could be seeing one of these teams earn the Lombardi Trophy in February, while the other, they could earn the #1 draft pick in April or anything in between. And we've got the best seat in the house every step of the way.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And off we go from Tampa. Able to avoid him at the 40. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to a 43. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100-plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
A good start. One play, 10 yards.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll throw with May. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. To the air, May. That's to the tight end, Laporta. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Couple of nice plays right in a row, and the Bucs have a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Play action, May. That's taken in. It's Xavier Legette. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Here's May. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. They need 12 here. It's third down. To throw, it's May. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Butker's kick here is good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice, because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. They go play action here on first down.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. 2nd and 10. On the ground, this is Devon Achane.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy at midfield. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Operating from the gun, McKinley.
It's Dobbins on the out route, bringing it in.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 22-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Back to throw. McKinley. He finds his receiver left side. This is Patton. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. From 8 yards out.
And the Vikings have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Throwing here is May.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And the drive starts with a run from Achane.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 7.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Right back to Achane on second down.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Off the play fake. Here's May.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Going across the field, he finds Phillips. Down the left sideline.
And down to the 16-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards.
And the offense is saying to itself right now, only they were all this easy because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Looking to throw. May. Got a man. That's Leggett. And the Bucs are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now in Tampa Bay. It's the Buccaneers in control of the football.
A chance for a first touchdown drive of the year. It's first and goal.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Leads to second and goal at the 2-yard line.
They'll try to run this one in. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a third and goal. They'll look to throw on third and goal. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Xavier Leggett.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Buccaneers have regained the lead.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide is a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is now 10-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
2nd and 13.
That one out wide and intercepted.
And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
Well, certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And they start in the best of all positions. 1st and goal.
They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Buying time to his left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and goal.
First down, fellas.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Buccaneers are able to add on to that lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. For this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And now out comes Minnesota.
So now, Charles, this drive, maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
2nd down and 3.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. 2nd and 3.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Fighting through pressure, but now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. Operating from the gun, McKinley. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Morrison, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
It's now 3rd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Morrison, and not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Woods has it complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League.
From the gun on 3rd down is May.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
He's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now a fair catch signaled for and made right about the 43-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. McKinley.
This one thrown underneath to Achane. From the 47 now to work with a 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. McKinley. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
From the gun, it's May.
He finds his man, complete. That's Morrison. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. McKinley.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40.
A 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Stevens. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half.
This pass into the hands of Bellinger. And worth pointing out, after that last completion, that puts this young quarterback over 10,000 yards passing for his career. And fair to say, he's not done yet.
No doubt about it. He's really just getting started because he's not quite into the prime of his career. So it's likely he's going to hit a few more of these milestones as this career progresses. So let's face it, we'll acknowledge this number and we'll celebrate the milestones down the road.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before break. McKinley, he's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. We just watched a fine first half out of this quarterback. That's Drake May. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he fires one incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, McKinley.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
They'll throw with May.
He finds his man, complete. That's Morrison. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. They'll run on 1st down. Morrison. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. To the air, May.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And they go play action with May. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. That one will set them back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Up the middle, Achane.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Again, it's Achane.
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, it's not time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. On 1st down.
It's Morrison.
Yeah, good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll look to throw here on first down.
That one complete till again. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 29-yard line.
Up the middle they go. It's Morrison, and he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 23.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
They'll keep it on the ground.
Morrison, and he is going to have the Bucs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They'll run on first down. It's Morrison, and running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener.
At the 19-yard line.
Here's May.
Over the middle, complete. That's Morrison. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches.
They go play action now. May.
And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. From 10 yards out.
And the Bucs are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Vikings head out to take over once again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to them. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
Operating from the gun, McKinley. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
So certainly in a pickle here. They have a mile to go to try to pick up the first. We'll see what they've drawn up.
And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Taking on the midfield logo. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
To throw, it's May.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the third quarter from Tampa. From the shotgun, it's May. This to Laporta, right side. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
That is caught.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play. Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. On 1st down, it's Morrison. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Good gain there on 1st down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They're in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Buccaneers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
It fights him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Throwing here is May.
This will be caught just inside the 10. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Bucs are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Charles, a well-drawn-up play, beautifully executed, and look at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 2nd half. They are on their way to a 1-0 start to this season.
Exactly what every team in the league dreams of, winning your season opener, getting off to that good start, and building confidence for the rest of the season.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead is now 24.
That time a 9-play drive, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. McKinley.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McKinley. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Out route pass complete to Bellinger.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. They'll look to throw again. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Back to throw again.
He'll dump this off to Achane.
And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it.
A short throw pulled in by Bellinger.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
From the 20, here's 2nd down and 5.
Looking to throw. McKinley. A quick throw, but incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. Back to throw. McKinley got his tight end. That's complete. That's Woods. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. McKinley. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 6 yards away.
And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now a handoff up the middle. Morrison. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Morrison. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Here's a 2nd and 8. Up the middle they go. It's Morrison. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 75 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. You just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Well, City, always a little extra excitement for Week 1 and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Buccaneers, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they will try to get back in the